Hello, friend. Today we are going to get super tactical and we are going to be talking about nighttime routines, specifically my nighttime routine. But why? Why do you care? Aside from wanting to get a good night's sleep, the recipe to having a great day actually starts the night before. So I want to share my nighttime routine with you so that you can start to have better days. Around here, we are getting organized for good. And in this episode, that for good part means for the good life, for the good days. So let's talk about a nighttime routine that can really set you up to have an amazing next day. Now, with every good routine, you need to be fully immersed in what you are doing. So my nighttime routine really has two different pieces to it. There is a piece where I am productive, that I am engaged in my immersive productivity. And then there is this relaxation component. So my immersive relaxation, so I can really wind down for a great night sleep. So let's talk about it. Now, I always give the caveat that I share my own routines and my own experiences for examples and inspiration, not because I have the exact formula that is going to work for every single person. We are all similar in a lot of ways, but we are also different in a lot of ways. So take what I am sharing with you as an example and take what works for you and leave the rest, friend. Fill in the gaps with what will actually work for you. But I also do know that having very specific examples can help us try things out, figure out what's going to work for us and what's not going to work for you. So as I go through this routine, know that it might seem complicated at first, but I don't even think about this, or most pieces of it, I don't even think about anymore. It really becomes second nature. All right. So as I said, my nighttime routine is split into two categories: checking things off a list, or what I would bucket in immersive productivity, and then my wind down routine that fully relaxes me, my immersive relaxation. So this works so well for me. But how did I get here? How did I get to this great nighttime routine? Let's go back a few years so I can paint a picture of what my nighttime used to look like. And I think it's helpful because if you see yourself in where I used to be, you can see that there is a place that you can go. But let's rein it back. And I used to be a stressed out wreck at the end of the night. This was for a lot of reasons. This was before I got my house organized. I was working outside of the house and my kids were smaller. And so nighttime routines with little kids is just not that fun. So I was exhausted from working all day. I was coming home to a too cluttered house. I would do all my wife duties, my mom duties, and then I would be too tired to get ready for bed. Here's the thing about me. Ever since I started wearing makeup back in high school, I refuse to go to sleep without washing off my makeup and doing my creams and brushing my teeth. I will not do it. Like, it is a hard no for me. You got to wash your face. You got to brush your teeth. So I would be so exhausted from the day that I felt like I literally could not be awake for one more second. I couldn't wash my face. I couldn't do my cream. I couldn't do any of it. So do you know what I used to do? I would fall asleep on the couch. I would just take a little rest. I was just going to take a little nappy nap on the couch, not for the whole night. It wasn't a desire. It was an absolute need. I needed to go to sleep right that second. And it just created this awful cycle because then I would get up when I was no longer bone tired. Then I would get ready for bed. And then, no surprise here, friend, I would not be able to fall asleep. So I'd eventually fall asleep, wake up to my alarm, and then be exhausted because I hadn't gotten a full night's sleep in my bed. And the cycle would continue and continue and continue. But I literally could not stay up past like 8 o'clock. And at that time, I just couldn't get ready for bed, but I refused to go to bed. So I would just fall into this awful, awful cycle until I had the most epic realization that I could, as soon as I got home from the day, wash my face, do my creams, and actually put on my pajamas. Obviously, I couldn't brush my teeth because I still hadn't had dinner yet, but I could do this like before we even had dinner at 4 or 5 o'clock. So that meant that after dinner, all I had to do was clean up, put the kids down, and brush my teeth. And that changed everything for me. It changed everything. And to me, it was such an outside of the box way of looking at my night. But I had identified this major pain point, which was I was not going to go to sleep before I washed my face and brushed my teeth, but I literally couldn't do it when everything else was said and done. So do it when I was coming home from the day, still energized. And what I found was the act of washing away the day, washing my face off, putting on my creams, changing, calmed me down so that I was a better and more relaxed mom. And I could get in bed at a decent hour. So I'd wake up rested and have renewed energy. Now, as my house got more organized and my life got more organized, I realized that I no longer needed to start getting ready for bed at 4 or 5 p.m. And that's a good thing because as your kids get older, they start having all of the not just afternoon, but evening and then late night activities where you actually have to go out and pick them up. And yes, my husband is a piece of this picture and he most often does the later pickups. When a lot of this stuff was going on, my husband used to travel a ton more when my kids were littler. So a lot of that would fall on me. So as I said, the more I got organized, the less exhausted I was, the less I had this need to do this, which was a good thing because, we'll have people popping in the house, who knows till what time now. But every now and then after a long day, I will find myself still washing my face before dinner, changing into my cozies, and it just allows for a smoother night. So while I am no longer in this sort of crisis situation, if you are, recognize where the issue is. What sort of drastic out of the box thing could you do right now to just get you out of that until things feel a little bit more manageable? And then create a really nice nighttime routine. So now that you have that context, I'm going to share with you my actual nighttime routine. I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm not going to edit this out. Okay. Before the end of the workday, I review my work and schedule for the next day. So you might be thinking, what does this have to do with your nighttime routine? Well, this is how I start winding down the end of the workday. It's how I sort of get my mind set for what I'm going to need to do the next day. What's my schedule? What's the pace of the next day going to be? So I can start thinking about when do I need to be up? What is my workout going to be? I really can't make those decisions until I fully know what my schedule for the next day is going to be. Do I have meetings outside the house? Am I going to have to be fully dressed in outside of the house attire? Am I going to be working from home, where maybe I just need to look good from the waist up if I'm going to be on camera? You know what I'm saying? All the things we need to know. So at the end of the workday, I review my work and schedule for the next day. So that's looking at Asana, my task management system, and it's also looking at my calendar. And then I will set my alarm according to the schedule and the length of my workout. So, I'm always doing a workout program. I love a program. It holds me accountable. It tells me exactly what I need to do. So I'm always doing some type of program. So I'll look at what the length of the workout is. They vary from, I'd say 33 to 42 minutes, but that 9 minutes can be a big swing factor in the morning. So when do I need to set my alarm? My husband and kids get up at the same time every morning. My husband gets up at 5:45. My daughter gets up at 6. My son gets up at 6:15. I'm usually up by 5:45, but when do I need to be out of bed really is the question. When does my butt need to get out of bed so that I can start all the things? And that really has to be determined the night before. I will also figure out what I need to wear, as I just said in the example of like, am I meeting outside the house? Am I staying in the house? I will ensure that my kids are set for the next day. So, are their lunches packed? Are their devices charged? Are their alarms set? Right. So, this is all part of my nighttime routine. These are like the to-do list pieces of it. Right. So I know what my schedule is the next day. I know when I have to get up. My alarm is set. I know what my workout is. I know how long it is. I have ensured that my kids' alarms are set so that they can be up and getting ready on their own. Their lunches are set. Their devices are charged, right? So that there's no scrambling in the morning. This is all part of that, my nighttime routine. And then after dinner, depending on the mood, my mood, I might take a bath, I might not. I love a bath. My baths can go up to an hour just sitting in a Epsom salt or magnesium soak with listening to a book or some music, maybe even talking on the phone, lighting a candle. I will do all of my bedtime routine stuff, washing the face, the creams, and then I will read. And it's really that simple. I try not to be on my phone right before bed. I have a charging station across the bedroom. I really try to not be on it before bed. I am not perfect at this by any stretch. There is some room for improvement, but I definitely get a better night's sleep when my phone is not next to my head and when I am not on it right before I go to sleep. The added benefit to plugging your phone in across the room is you can't just snooze. You got to get up and get your phone. And I try to go to bed at a decent hour. I need more and more sleep the older that I get, and making sure that I go to bed at a decent hour. So, hovering around that 10 o'clock mark, when it gets to be close to 11, I've gone too far. I've gone too far. It happens often, but it's really better for me to be like lights out closer to that 10 o'clock hour. So, I was going to say it's really that simple. It seems simple to me. Is that simple? The getting stuff done piece is, believe it or not, for me, the more simple piece of that. That I do on autopilot. That is absolutely easy. The unwinding relaxation piece, which if you've listened to any number of these episodes, you know that I have a harder time relaxing. That piece can be harder. And there's other things that I throw in there sometimes, like I might do some somatic exercises. I have some beauty, like face devices that I'm trying to get into a better habit of using at night as part of my wind down routine rather than being on my phone or being on any type of device, doing something like that while I'm listening to a book. I'm trying to add that in. That's one of my goals for this fall and winter. So we'll see how well I do with that. But the relaxation unwind piece is equally as important as the immersive productivity piece. And I'm really working to get better at that because that is what allows you to have a really delicious night's sleep. And the final piece of ensuring that you have a great day is wake up and know that you've already visualized the day, at least the first part of the day. So you know it's going to run more smoothly. I already know exactly when I'm getting up, what my workout is, what I'm wearing, what the first part of my schedule is, that the kids are going to get out of the house smoothly. And that visualization from the night before really helps start the day off on a great foot. And then I can do another episode on my morning routine because there are other small things that I do, starting with some, I'll call it active meditation. I'm not sitting and meditating, but listening to some meditations or some thought provoking books that are sort of in the meditation realm is another way to start your morning off great so that you can have a great day. But we won't get into too many specifics on the morning routine. So, what are the takeaways for you, friend? Start small. What is the moment where you are getting stuck that derails you when it comes to getting a good night's sleep or having a good wind down routine? There has got to be a moment. What is it? Identify it. Figure out what it is. And where can you change just that one thing? Just that one thing. Pick that, change that one thing, and just stick with that one shift. And then when you're ready, what can you layer on top of that? And layer on top of that. This is how you slowly but surely turn around a disastrous nighttime routine into one that starts to feel super, super nourishing and looks like the life that you want to have for yourself. Now, if you are feeling completely stuck, check out my Sunday reset checklist for some ideas that can get you unstuck. They're not just for the Sunday reset. They are little things that you can do to just kickstart yourself into a better routine. Like if your mind goes blank when I say, where are you getting stuck? And you're like, I don't know. Check out my Sunday reset checklist and it will give you some ideas. I'm going to drop it in the show notes below. Or you can go to my website, which is gridandglam.com/Sunday reset, all one word. So my website is gridandglam, gridandglam.com/Sunday reset. You are amazing, friend, and you deserve to have a nighttime routine that supports you so that it can set you up to have great, great days because you deserve that. I would love to hear from you. What is the thing you identified in your evening or afternoon or nighttime that is the pain point? And what is the one action you are going to take to turn it around? Let me know. And I will be back in your ears next week.